So Scott, looking ahead to the second leg in the last 32 of the UEFA Women's Champions League, how excited are you for the game?
We're all looking forward to the game. It's a massive game for the club, massive for the players, and I think that we've put ourselves in a good position, but it's no more than a good position. It doesn't win you the game on Thursday night. We know that. We know the job that we have to do. It's going to be tough, but I'm confident that the players, if they play like they played in the first leg, will make it very, very difficult for Somatio.
In terms of, as you say, you've set yourself up really well for this. A lot of people, though, will maybe see, well, Glasgow City will be the favourites, it will be an easy game here at home, but you know the challenges that this team will pose for your team, won't you?
Yeah, they're a very good side, and I think you're right. If you look at the 2-0 and from the outside, you'd probably think, oh well, they're going to take care of business at home. But if it had been the other way around and we were 2 down for this leg, we would still fancy our chances to go and get through, and if we played well and go and do that. So I see the opposition thinking the same thing, and nothing could be taken for granted. I know that that's said so often in football by coaches and players, but ultimately we know how threatening this team can be. So we'll be going to the game under no illusions that it's going to be nothing but a very, very tough European match.
It's been such a positive Champions League campaign so far, and the journey is still going on. How proud would you be if the team was to reach the last 16 of this stage? Yeah,
hugely proud, because they've put in so much work, and the season is getting close to that point where every single game means so much, and the players know there's so much riding on this game on Thursday, but ultimately they want to do it for themselves and for their teammates and for their families, and make people proud that they've done something special this season in the Champions League. And so far so good, but we're not quite there yet.
Obviously, you're battling on so many fronts. A lot of people have maybe spoken for Glasgow City and other clubs in the league about the fact that maybe the standard is getting weaker. But in terms of the results that you're putting on the field, it shows slightly differently. The fact you're performing so well, including in the Champions League. How strong do you think the squad you've got right now is?
I think the squad is strong. We've got a very good balance between players that have been here for a number of years and know exactly what it takes to win for Glasgow City, and they set the standards themselves, a lot of them. And then we have some good younger players coming through now, some that have gained a lot of experience this season, probably more than they thought they would. And that's going to stand them in good stead, and also the club, because we need that blend. We need to keep introducing young players, but there's absolutely no doubt that having that core of experienced internationalists and players that have been through it all is vital for the club.
In terms of the young players that the Glasgow City have brought through this season, how proud are you of them?
Yeah, I'm really proud of the young players, because as a coach I love to see young players go from that development stage of their football into first team football, and then I think we've managed to do that at City this season again, a number of young players, and I think that when you get that balance between youth and experience, I think it's a well-known and tried and tested combination in football, that if you can get that balance right, it makes for a good side, and it also makes for young players developing well with experienced players around them.
In terms of, you are battling on so many fronts, as you say, almost every game is a cup final to some extent now. I mean, the squad that you've got, it's in such good form, it's got a good depth and a good blend of experience. How confident are you that you can achieve success on all 3 fronts?
It's a big ask. There's no doubt in that, because the games are thick and fast. They all mean so much, but if you ask players what kind of games they want to play in, that's those kind of games. And if you ask players would they rather play games or train, they would rather play games. So it's all set up for them from that perspective. So hopefully they can take on those pressures. I'm no doubt that the squad's ready for it, and let's hope that they can do themselves justice, because I think that they've played some really good football this season.
as a head coach, to be involved in these big games, as a squad to be involved in those kind of big games, what's the excitement like? Because as you say, they are all like cup finals at this moment. It must be really pleasing to be involved in those games.
Yeah, it means that you're doing something right, I suppose, when you're involved in these games, because they mean so much for the players and for the club. You obviously want to work very, very hard and make sure you've done as much as you possibly can to get the results on the pitch. And the players, I have to say, they do work incredibly hard. They're so committed, and it's the moments like these that are coming up over the next 5-6 weeks that will determine how they've done this season. And for Glasgow City, the main thing is winning, and that's what they've set as a standard for a number of years now, so it's no different for us.
In terms of Scottish women's football as a whole, obviously the national team's qualification, Glasgow City possibly getting through to the last 16 of the Champions League, as well as the new criteria. Just to touch on that, it's in a really exciting time, but with the criteria specifically, as one of the head coaches of one of the top clubs, how good do you think it is to see minimum standards being rolled out to the league as a whole? Yeah,
I think it's all part and parcel of the women's game developing in Scotland. I've seen so many little things over the last 3 years that all sort of snowball into bigger things, and it's all about trying to push the game forward in Scotland. And there's no doubt for me that we have some fantastic football players. It's competitive. The league shows that, despite the fact that it's ourselves and Hibs that are normally at the forefront, that there's some good players coming through from all the clubs, and that's promising. So yeah, anything that can build the game in Scotland is, I think, very important, but it is moving rapidly forward.